Hello, everybody. Good morning and blessed day to you. Today, I'm making a video on the lessons that I've learned from over 20,000 euros of shopping and gifts. And keep in mind, most of that figure was gifts because, for example, the current suit that I'm wearing, it is a Savile Row bespoke suit. That was a gift from my father, who got it from his father. So my grandfather, basically. This suit has a value which lies anywhere between 7,500 euros to 10,500 euros. So that already makes up half of the 20,000 figure that I mentioned. And I have like 3 more shoes. They're each like 1,000. So, anyways, enough discussing the actual value. But the point is, I have quite a lot of experience in buying clothes, spending a lot of money. There are some things I bought myself, like my pairs of churches. I have 2 of them. I bought a Purple Label cashmere cable knit. That's a very long word. Sweater and quite a few other things. My fragrance collection is also quite expensive. And so I've actually learned quite a lot from all of this shopping. And despite my current outfit, the answer is not what you'd expect. First things first. It's never the suit. It's the man in the suit. Now, what exactly do I mean by this? I've had this suit for almost 2 or 3 years now. And it's really cool to have it, obviously. Like, it's a bespoke suit. It's really expensive. But despite having it, there have been many, many times where I've had bad times, There have been times during which I have owned this, had the lovely fragrance collection, and I've been depressed, I've been sad, I've been low energy, and even socially isolated at times. And even if I were to wear this suit, it wouldn't recover my state. What does this mean? This means that you should not rely on any of this material stuff if your goal is to feel confident, look your best, feel your best, perform your best. The way I like to see all of this shopping is a way to amplify what you already are, who you are as a person, how you feel on a day-to-day basis. It amplifies it. But if you're sleep deprived, if you're not spending time with your friends, if you're eating really bad food, if you're not working on things that are meaningful to you, you won't be happy or satisfied with any of this stuff. Period. Alright? In most of my YouTube videos, you see me wearing pretty casual clothes sometimes. Maybe a bit too casual. I gotta fix that up. And in the past, I used to buy a lot of clothes. Even when I already had such great pieces like this suit. And my fragrance collection is about 30 large. Not 30 large. I watched Fast and Furious 2 last night. It said 35 large, but I have about 30 to 35 fragrances. I have 5 back home in Karachi, and I've got about 25 here. Even when I had 20 fragrances, I still found reasons to buy more and more and more, thinking that if I just buy this one, Dior Tabacaleur, I'm gonna feel like a Middle Eastern prince or Chuck Bass. Like, I would create all these fancy images and fantasizing about what buying this fragrance would make me, what buying that pair of shoes would make me, what that Xenia scarf would do for me. But the reality is, whatever you're chasing, you can't get it through material stuff, if I'm being fully honest with you. If you actually commit to a week of healthy eating, healthy exercise, hanging out with people who inspire you and you enjoy being around, make you laugh, good adventures, novelty, without all of this stuff, you will feel that aliveness that you've been craving from all of these material things. And this is something that I learned very late in life. Does this mean you should never buy material stuff or spend a lot? Hell no. I definitely think there's a time and place for this stuff. And like I said, it amplifies who you already are. But if you try and put lipstick on a pig, not that I'm calling you a pig or me a pig either, it's not gonna change the fact that it's still not fixed. Think of the pig as like your mental health or your energy. I'm not calling you a pig, but I'm calling like your energy or like my energy a pig, you know? Putting lipstick on it, it changes nada. So essentially, it's never the suit, it's the man. The second lesson I learned is do not evaluate the price, evaluate the value. Something that costs 300 euros can be an objectively amazing investment. And at the same time, something for 30 euros can be a crappy investment. Let me explain. I have a pair of dark brown Chelsea boots. These cost me around 300 euros, I'd say. And that's rather expensive for a pair of boots. You could get maybe Timberlands for about 100, maybe even less than that. So you may consider it as an expensive investment. But let's look at it a bit closer. I wore those Chelsea boots almost every single day, at least in the winter. Right now it's more the summertime, and I'm not finding much of a reason to wear them. Rather wearing my Oxfords right now. I don't think you can see them. But so essentially, I was wearing them almost every single day. They amplified my confidence. When you're walking in a pair of Chelsea boots, you got that clickety-clack noise when the boot hits the ground. It's actually rather comfortable, I'd say. And I was wearing it every day, enjoying it, feeling confident in it. And while the price tag was 300, I consider that an amazing investment. As for a cheap investment, think of literally anything you bought that you kind of liked, but you weren't sure about it, but you told yourself, well, it's on sale, so might as well get it anyways. You think that those purchases don't matter. You know, oh, just 10 euros on a shirt, whatever, like it's just 10 euros, who cares? Or like, oh, just 40 euros, the pants were 50% off, might as well buy it. And I tend to spend a lot of money on fashion, or at least I used to. Now I've decreased it because before it was a bit of an unhealthy obsession, like a shopping addiction. But even then, I would never spend 40 euros on a pair of pants just because it's 50% off and it kind of looks nice. Because that's 40 euros wasted. Think about it. When you wear those pants, are you really going to enjoy them? Not really. Could you have saved up those 40 euros and the many other small purchases that you considered, well, it's not really that much, who cares? And eventually bought something nice, like those pair of Chelsea boots that I was talking about for 300 euros, which I wore almost every single day, amplified my confidence. I felt amazing. I got many compliments on it. You cannot simply evaluate an item based on its price tag. You need to evaluate it based on its value. And recently, in my microeconomics course, we spent a lot of time evaluating value over price and in my principles of finance subject, but that all is irrelevant to you. Maximize value, not price. If you can't afford the price, that's a completely separate story. But thinking about it this way. Oh yes, another point I can't believe I almost forgot. When you buy things that are relatively cheaper, they may do the job for the short run. But expensive stuff, they tend to last a hell of a lot longer. This Savile Row suit was my grandfather's. He got this made in the 1980s, 1990s. That makes the suit almost 30 to 40 years old. And I'm still wearing it. I'm still wearing it. And every time I wear it, I almost feel like I'm in Wall Street, you know? With the tie as well, the Church's Oxfords. It is truly amazing. You divide those 10,000 euros, and by the way, in his time, he probably spent a lot less on it. Over 40 years. That's 250 euros a year. That is still relatively expensive, but again, keep in mind he bought it back in his time, so it must have cost a lot less. But think about how long it's lasted and how well it's kept its shape. Does this mean you need to buy a Savile Row suit? No. I think there's a point of diminishing returns, especially in terms of quality. And that's something you only understand through research and experience, you know? For example, in the shoe industry, I feel you can get a very, very, very good pair of shoes for maybe 400 to 500 euros. Anything past that, you are getting better shoes, but diminishing returns are more visible, if you understand what I mean. These churches actually got them at a discount for about 450 euros, and the retail price is almost 1,050 euros. I got the exact same pair of shoes, but just because I bought it on a discounter website, I got a good deal. And I really love them. They have really held their beauty since I've bought them. And because I'm taking good care of them. And by the way, let's be honest. You're going to take better care of more expensive stuff than cheaper stuff. It lasts you longer. And there's so many other advantages, like you're helping the sustainability of the planet. And you genuinely enjoy your stuff more. That's the advantage of looking at the value of something rather than the price. Because I'm not saying in the long run you end up paying the same amount when you buy cheaper stuff than more expensive stuff. Because when you buy more expensive stuff, yes, in total you buy less items, but more likely you're going to spend a bit longer. But think about it this way. You enjoy what you've bought even more. It lasts longer. And you're helping the environment. That's just a win-win-win-win-win. And you're encouraging more and more skilled workers to maintain their jobs. You help them with that because nowadays, how many bespoke tailors do you know? How many made-to-measure services do you know compared to the past? I'm not saying there aren't any, but it is declining. And when we help support these industries, we are helping keep these manual labor jobs and preventing AI from getting rid of that. Although AI might get rid of it, I don't know. But so essentially, maximize the value, not the price. I've been doing this for almost 2-3 years. And I'm very happy with it. An important disclaimer. You need to use your own judgment. Because yesterday I bought a t-shirt for about 7 euros. Because a cotton t-shirt, how expensive is that going to be? There's diminishing returns when you buy a cotton t-shirt for like 50 euros. Versus 7 euros if it fits you. It's all relative. So with suits, with higher end garments, more formal garments that are more meant to be higher quality, meant to represent you at your highest standard or your best standard, you do not want to cheap out with that stuff. But with home socks, with slippers, you do not need to be shopping from Crockett & Jones for velvet slippers just because, oh, well, but high quality, no. That's just, again, your shopping addiction, or my shopping addiction, creeping back in. No, that was from about a year ago or 2 years ago. I'm so much better mentally now, and I'm so much happier because I detached from the material stuff in my life. Believe me when I say, what gives me the most happiness is my energy, being around the right types of people, physical activity. You really underestimate how important 10,000 steps a day are. Not just for your physical health, but for your mental health. The third lesson, you do you. If you like something, buy it. What your mother thinks about it, what your friends think about it, is all irrelevant. At the end of the day, you are going to be the one who's wearing the clothes. If I made you wear my style of clothing and you didn't like it, even if objectively a bunch of people who had similar interests at me would validate you and glaze you, are you really doing yourself right? Just because others are validating you for it, that doesn't mean that you should wear that style of clothing or buy certain things. Because at the end of the day, what did I say? Style amplifies you. It amplifies who you are, your vibe, your personality, your character. There are times where I want to dress more formal, but there are also times where I want to wear some more loose clothing, more oversized, more of a chill vibe. It's all about what you want. You don't need to, unless it's like a business meeting and you show up in like sweatpants and a hoodie. I mean, that's a completely separate thing. But don't ever let anyone tell you what you need to wear when you want to enjoy yourself. Because when you wear clothes that you genuinely enjoy, you'll feel confident, and that's all that matters. People respond to your energy and your confidence, not just your outfit. And I've noticed this many, many, many times. When I would dress in certain ways that didn't feel right to me. Like, for example, there were times where I'd dress formally just for the sake of getting validation because people would give me so many compliments. Like, it was crazy in my high school when I came back from Paris and I posted a bunch of pictures of me wearing an overcoat. All my friends just glazed me, and I really liked that validation. So I started dressing more like that, but there were times where I even felt a bit uncomfortable, like, yo, I just want to chill, you know? I want to wear some more relaxed clothing, and yeah, that's as simple as that. Just do what you want. Don't let people tell you, oh, well, this is the style that looks the best for you. Unless you genuinely want their advice and you're not happy with your current style, fair enough. But if you know something that you genuinely enjoy, like, for example, this outfit I really like, some people give me compliments on it. Some people be like, why you dress so formally? And I'm like, I want to. It's as simple as that. And you have no idea how much people are going to respect you for just doing what you want. Like, imagine how cool that is. I wear what I want. I just don't care. Do you respect that guy more than the guy who's like, oh, well, my mom told me the style looks cute on me, or my girlfriend said, like, oh, I really like it when you wear oversized clothing. You're just doing it to please other people. That's not powerful. That doesn't make you happy. That doesn't make you confident. That makes you, in a way, a people pleaser, to be blunt. And I know that's not the type of person that you want to be. That's not the type of person that I want to be. You do you, my friend. Another very important lesson I've learned is comfort is more important than the look. Just because you look great, you know, like a shirt's showing off your biceps and like you feeling good about yourself and like you've got like a nice slim suit and it highlights your body. Just because it relatively looks good, again, that kind of ties back to my previous point. You should do what you feel confident and comfortable in, not what objectively looks good or what objectively feels great. Because if you're relaxed, if you can have open body language, you can spread yourself out. That sounded extremely wrong, but just take up some space and feel comfortable in what you're wearing. That's so much more important. Style is an amplifier of who you are, your internal energy and state. You could put really good style on someone who's miserable, depressed, and it won't mean shit. I'm being fully honest with you. That's why, even though I objectively look better in clothes that are more slim fit, I've recently been going for more, not also like completely oversized, even though I do like that aesthetic, but just a bit more relaxed clothing. It should look like it fits you, not like you're wearing your grandpa's clothes or like your dad's t-shirt. But it should be comfortable. I've made very slim pants in the past because they look good, but I genuinely gave them all away to my brother because I couldn't take it anymore. I looked good, but I was so uncomfortable. Like I was going to a nice restaurant and I was like, yeah, my outfit's looking good. But I was kind of sad and uncomfortable. It's not worth it anymore when you're not comfortable. Another lesson that I learned, buying with emotion is a very dangerous idea, but it can be beneficial at times. I made the grave mistake of buying a Purple Label cashmere cable knit sweater for €1,050. Do I regret that decision? Almost certainly yes. Because I've bought sweaters from Luca Faloni, which is, if not better quality cashmere, for around €300 to €350. Again, it's expensive, but I see the value in that. I wore that more, and the Purple Label cashmere, honestly, I'd say the quality may even be worse than the Luca Faloni, which was €350. Why did I buy the Purple Label? Because I got caught up in my emotions. Oh, I'm in Paris, and I want to feel like the man, and this is the standard you're setting yourself up for, Danya. Just deluding yourself and being like, I need this. And before you know it, you've spent €1,000. And it took me a while to save up that money. I'll be honest, I don't fully regret it, because whenever I want a complete, I want to feel like the man, amplify myself as much as possible, I wear that sweater, and it does do the job. But again, mostly it's my internal state which is doing the heavy lifting. The clothes are just amplifying that. And also, because I learned the lesson that please never buy something that expensive again, especially when you're in university. It was a stupid mistake, and I bought it with emotion. Don't get caught up in the emotion, the fantasizing of it. I want you to think about the practicality of it. How often are you really going to wear it? For example, Dior Tabacaleur. I was very emotional about this purchase, but I wear it a lot because it really aligns with my whole style identity, and I feel confident in it. It's very wearable, and it just makes my day-to-day life a little bit more pleasant. So again, your judgment call, but never, ever, ever buy with emotions. The last lesson that I'd like to tell you all about is the last lesson that I'm going to tell you about is regarding stores. Stores can, one, be intimidating, and two, get you to buy things even when you don't want to, just because of amazing sales tactics. What do I mean by this? First things first, getting into the store. A lot of us, including you maybe, are intimidated with going into a really nice store, for example. You feel you don't belong there. You look at other people with their big shopping bags and you're just thinking to yourself, yeah, I don't know if I belong there, I don't think I should be asking the sales staff for advice because I may or may not buy, or I'm just checking. I want you to remind yourself something. What is their job? Their job is literally to help you see if you like the product that they're selling. And also, just help you understand the brand. Anyone who's actually smart with their shopping does not go into the store and immediately buy stuff. Unless you're loaded and you're just buying stuff, fair enough. Those people do that. But people who make smart investment decisions, like me, excluding the Ralph Lauren Purple Label cashmere sweater, we go in the store. And you need to feel like you actually belong there. Because you do. Okay? When you think about it, broke people buy from Hermes, normal people buy from Hermes, rich people buy from Hermes. Everyone buys it. I remember going into the Hermes store in Paris, and I swear to God, it was almost more packed than the H&M. Okay? I did not buy something from Hermes. I was just checking out the store, and I was actually asking for advice and all of that. But you need to understand. You belong there. Because everyone's already there. And if you're nervous about it, how does that even make sense? Their job in the store is to help you understand their products, see if they are compatible with you, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you need to buy if you go in the store. Because anyone who does that makes shitty purchase decisions almost all the time. Because when you're in the store, sometimes the sales staff will try convincing you to buy things even if you don't need, and you feel pressured because you want to uphold the image that, well, yeah, you know what, I can buy from Hermes, I can buy from Ralph Lauren Purple Label. And then you end up making purchase decisions which you regret. When you're going in a store, there's no need to be committed to buying. You are simply there as an observer. If something vibes with you, don't even buy it that very same day. What I've learned now with shopping is go in, try something that you're interested in, and if you really want it, buy it the next day. Never walk in the store and straight up buy something unless it's like a romantic story for you, like me and Tobacco. I can't tell you, I've been waiting for this fragrance since 2023 December. A really long time. And so when I went in, I bought it, and it was expensive, 435 euros. But I don't look back at it with regret at all. I bought MFK Reflective Amber for 245 euros, almost half the price. That I do regret, because that was more of an emotional purchase, and the sales staff kind of convinced me. And so on that note, I'd like to wrap up today's video. I really appreciate you watching up until this point of the video. You have an elite attention span. My style journey has been a bit rocky, but I'm really happy with the position that I'm at right now. And these lessons I've learned the hard way. And so use them to your advantage. Save yourself from making the same mistakes I did. Do what you want. Value over price. Comfort over how it looks. Don't be intimidated in the stores, but don't also let your emotions get to you or the salespeople get to you in the store. Always go in, and if you like it, Buy it the next day. No problem. Don't buy it the same day because you might buy it for the right or most likely wrong reasons. I wish you a splendid day.